Hey guys, so today I'm gonna be going over 5 things I wish I knew before I started lifting. And I'm gonna start with probably the most controversial one of them all, is that ego lifting is overrated. Now when I first got in the weight room, I was worried about trying to put up as much weight as I can. I think when I started really making progress is when I stopped caring about how much weight I was lifting and I was worried more about the form and the reps. Once you get the form down, then you can go up in weight. But I really recommend just trying to make sure you get the form down right, especially when starting out. And if you don't have a form, I just feel like you're doing it wrong. You need to have your form down, that way you can actually build your muscle correctly. When I say ego lifting, I just mean lifting heavy in general at the beginning. Do a weight that feels like a medium heavy, if that makes sense. It's a little bit light, but also a little bit heavy. And that way you can do more reps and just focus on the form and just have a controlled movement. Now, another thing I wish I was more focused on at the beginning was the diet. For those of you who don't know, I was really skinny at first, and I didn't really care about my diet. I was sticking to the same old thing. I ate a little bit more, but only probably like a couple hundred calories more, and wasn't really focused on the amount of protein I was getting. Yeah, sure, I had a protein shake and a protein bar. That isn't enough to cut it if you're trying to go from skinny to jacked. And so I really recommend just focusing on your macros. I would track it for a couple weeks and just figure out what you need to do to make your diet fit for your meal plan. What I like to do is I just eat the same thing pretty much every day. That way I just know what I'm eating and I know I'm hitting all my macros without having to worry. Because tracking my macros every day, personally, I just feel like that would be annoying. I'd rather just eat the same thing. Yes, it sucks, but they never said it would be easy, but they did say it'd be worth it. The other thing I wish I knew before I started lifting was about hypertrophy and how you should include all 3 of them in your workouts. Personally, I feel like that's the best way if you're trying to build muscle mass. So there's 3 different types of hypertrophy. There's mechanical tension, metabolic stress, and muscle damage. Mechanical tension is lifting heavier, so you're gonna have more sets and a longer rest time, but you're gonna have less reps in a set. So this would probably be more of like your bench, squat, and deadlift. Personally, I think you should go heavier in those compound movements and be more worried about the weight, but make sure you get the form down first. So metabolic stress is when you do 3 to 4 sets from a rep range of 12 to 20 or even failure and less than a minute of rest time. This is personally one of my favorite. It helps you get a better pump, and I don't know about you guys, but I like chasing the pump.
The greatest feeling you can get in a gym, or the most satisfying feeling you can get in the gym, is the pump. Let's say you train your biceps. Blood is rushing into your muscles, and that's what we call the pump. Your muscles get a really tight feeling, like your skin is going to explode any minute. You know, it's really tight. It's like somebody blowing air into your muscle. It just blows up, and it feels different. It feels fantastic.
So then we also have muscle damage. So this is around 3 to 5 sets with a rep range of 8 to 12 and a rest time of 1 to 2 minutes. So with muscle damage, you're really focusing on a slow, controlled movement to make sure you tear the muscle fiber and get the best contraction you can. And you really just focus on the mind-muscle connection. Which brings me to the next thing I wish I knew before I started lifting. And that is, mind-muscle connection is key. So personally, I like doing a pre-exhaustion workout or a warm-up exercise for a couple sets just to feel the contraction. Nothing too heavy, not gonna go to failure or anything like that, just enough to feel the muscle contract. One of my favorites is doing dumbbell flies for chest. For triceps, it's the rope extension. Legs, I like doing leg curls. And for the back, I like doing the lat pull downs. The biggest thing is getting a mind muscle connection. That way you know you're hitting the right muscle group and you know you're tearing the right fibers, because there's nothing worse than hitting something. Let's say you're hitting your chest, but you're feeling your biceps. Yeah, there's just something that's going wrong there. And when you have the mind muscle connection, you're gonna get a good pump. You're gonna get a good workout. And honestly, the mind muscle connection is just key. Don't be afraid to go to failure or do half reps after failure. I often do this with the incline dumbbell bench press. I'll just be hitting the weights and all of a sudden I just hit failure, but then I feel like I can get a couple more half reps. And honestly, I felt like it's helped me go up more in weight in my bench and in my dumbbell bench. Another thing is, don't be afraid to do an extra set. Just because your workout program says 3 or 4 sets, if you're getting a really good pump and you just really feel the mind muscle connection, go ahead and do an extra set if you want. Don't be afraid of that. Another thing is, if you're not feeling the mind muscle connection and the workout just isn't feeling the best, you can go ahead and skip that exercise. Go do something where you feel the mind muscle connection while working out the same muscle group. Because if you're not feeling it in the right place, then you may be either doing the form wrong or that exercise just isn't for you. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.